I usually am, but you know what? I'm trying something. And okay, and to continue, we're going to finish up with the team breakdowns with the last few. And after that, I'm still deciding what I'm probably going to do. I'm still going to try and do this throughout the 2018 NFL season and and hopefully beyond. But it's just one of those things that I'll take it day by day and see what happens. And of course, we're going to have to wrap this up with the NFC East. And the first thing we're taking a look at is the Washington Redskins and why I think this team did get worse. I think they really did get worse out of all the NFC teams outside, well, I should just say the NFC East teams that really did get worse. And it really shows. Well, for one, they downgraded at quarterback. They went from Kirk Cousins, and now they're at Alex Smith, Mr. Mediocrity. And some people would call Kirk Cousins Mr. Mediocrity. Well, I guess from a win standpoint, he hasn't had a ton of wins. I think he only has like one winning season and struggles to really get some. But I really do think Alex Smith is Mr. Mediocrity. He puts on mediocre stats. Like, his best season was last season, and that was his first season ever hitting 4,000 yards. And not only does Dan Snyder, one of the many terrible owners, not only refuse to pay Kirk Cousins, but says, I'm trading for Alex Smith, and I'm giving him an extension. That is a really, really, really dumb move, especially the fact they got rid of Kendall Fuller, who did pretty well in the slot in 2017, for a quarterback you're probably going to get maybe 3 or 4 years left out of. I mean, Kirk Cousins was 29. You probably could have gotten 5 or more on average. But Alex Smith right now, he's 34. You probably got maybe 3 or 4 seasons left out of him. He's a game-managing quarterback. He's a solid starting quarterback, but you're going to have to replace him sooner rather than later. With Cousins, like I said, you probably have like another 5 minimum years with him. But you know what? Let him deal with it. It's his mistake. Let him suffer for doing what he does. Now, for running back, I've really thought of this, and I think this does hold true. I do think the Washington Redskins could be the death of running backs. And I'm going to get to my point later. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and get to it now. Why wait for it? I think they are the death of running backs, especially the fact that they use them so much, and their careers just last very, very short. Now, when they traded for Clinton Portis back in 2003, 2004, he had a few usable years until, guess what? Injuries piled up, and he was out in the NFL by like 2011. And his running back was Roy Helu. He got injured and was out of the NFL. Then he went with Tim Hightower. He got hurt, out for the NFL for a few years, came back with a little bit of resurgence, but now he's out of the NFL. Then he went with Alfred Morris. They overused him so much from the beginning of his career till 2014, and now he's a free agent. I mean, I think he's 28. If he wasn't used so much by the Redskins between the years of 2012 to 2014, he would still be on a team, at least splitting carries. But no, he's now entering the last stages of his career. Now he's probably not going to be playing because he's used up all of his miles. He's basically a car that has had 250,000 miles used up. And then now you have, and of course, they went 2015, they tried to use Matt Jones. He sucked. 2016, they tried to use Robert Kelly. Now he's going to be gone. And 2017, try to use Samaje Pernier. He's going to be gone. And now this year it's going to be Darius Guys. I wonder how long he's going to last. Over under, where do you think he's going to last? For me, over under, I say 3. Do you think he's going to last more than 3 years or less than 3 years with the Redskins? Reds. Yeah, just with the Redskins, the NFL thing could come. Well, the NFL thing, I'll say over under 5 years. Because I think the Redskins are going to ruin him. They're going to overuse him. He's going to be like this 500 touch yard back. And all of his miles is going to be used up. Especially now with your quarterback being Alex Smith. You need a strong running game for Alex Smith because he's not a confident passer. He really doesn't throw the ball a ton, so you need a strong running game, and he'll manage the game for you. But I think they're going to overuse Robert I think they're going to overuse Darius Guice. I think he's going to be over under 3 years with the team, and with his NFL career, it'll be over under 5 years. And I actually do want to hear your opinion about it. The wide and of course, continuing with the wide receivers, it was a bit of a huge disappointment. Dotson showed a little something, but nothing really too consistent. James Crowder, who I thought was really a security blanket for Cousins, really disappointed. And of course, their big free agent signing Terrell Pryor stunk. So what do you do? Well, they go ahead and go sign Paul Richardson, who's been battling injuries for a couple years. They also signed Brian Quick, who they're hoping that can turn out well. They got a couple other wide receivers. They also signed Sammy Cobbs. They drafted Trey Quinn. But it's kind of a mix. I mean, I'm not expecting anyone to really do well, per se, because it's Alex Smith. I mean, I'm not expecting anything. I'm not expecting anything. Even a tight end, it's okay, because you got the often injury-prone Jordan Reed, and Vernon Davis is kind of on the latter half of his career, just kind of still trying to hold on and, try and play as long as he can. I mean, it's all right. It's just, I'm not expecting much. Your tackles, you got a good deal between Trent Richardson, a very good all-pro tackle, with Morgan Moses, who's getting better. He's getting better. He's steadily improving. Your guards, of course, are Brandon Scherf, and I think they're going to have a bit of a competition. I think right now it's Sean Levo probably playing on the inside. They're going to have a bit of a competition. Bet on it. And of course, at center, I don't even know. I think there might be a competition. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if Levo got put in at center. So yeah, the offensive line could definitely use some work. And overall, the offense, I think it's going to take a step back. I think it's going to take a big step back with a downgraded quarterback. Offensive line's a little. I mean, you got two good players, Scherf and Williams, and Moses is definitely an improving player, but there's a little uncertainty, especially with the center and the other guard position. The more reliance on having to run the ball instead of throwing it is definitely going to affect this team. And I don't know. I just do not see this team really turning out to be a dominant team. I don't really see this offense really improving. And of course, looking at the defense, it's a bit mixed. I'll say that it's mixed. Yeah, edge rushers, you still have the all-pro Ryan Kerrigan. I think it's going to be Pernell McPhee lining up on the opposite side of him. They're choosing him over Junior Gillette. They do have a few young players who want to try. Preston Smith and definitely Ryan Anderson. A couple guys who do want to try out as well at edge rusher. The interior is actually pretty good. They drafted Deron Payne in the first round, which is a very good pick. And they're pairing him up with Jonathan Allen, who they drafted in the first round last year. I mean, Allen was pretty good until the injuries came up, but seeing Payne and Allen work together, I think that's going to be a very good defensive line. I can definitely see the team probably running, that 4-2-5 scheme that any team with a nickel scheme does, with a 4 that runs kind of a 4-3 base. I mean, let's face it, I've never really seen a team run a base, that kind of base like that. That 4-3 base, or hell, even a 3-4 base. They're going to run a lot of 4-2-5. Saves on the linebackers, gives the edge rushers more of a chance, and really it hides the fact that you don't have a nose tackle. Yeah, and of course your linebackers, you got Zach Brown, and I think and they're going to have Mason Foster starting on the opposite side of him. They're solid running backs, very, very athletic, though at times can be a little inconsistent. And I think a guy like Zach Brown, who has the great athleticism, and you're looking for him. I think he ran a 4.5 in his pro day. The fact that in 2017 he kind of sat a long time for agency really kind of scares some people into one. And want to know why, a guy like him was still available. But hey, I think he's starting to find a little spot in the team. Now, the secondary is its biggest weakness. For one, I think one of them is Josh Norman, who's honestly been steadily declining. I think he's still very good. It's just that he's kind of by himself. You know what I mean? he's kind of by himself, having to do everything and anything that they ask him to do. I wouldn't be surprised if they cut him after this season. I'm willing to call that. I'm willing to call that they're going to probably cut Josh Norman after this season. And then the opposite starting corner is a real mess because right now it's probably Orlando Scandrick. I thought last year the cornerback core was a little better. They had Bashar Breeland, who's still a free agent and who they should try to resign to, I don't know, make it better. And they also had Kendall Fuller, who did well in the slot, but of course they traded him away for Alex Smith. Dumbass. And now it's a big old competition to see who can start on the opposite side. They're hoping that it's Fabian Monroe, who they drafted last year in the draft. Missed the entire season, I think, due to a meniscus. I want to say, I believe it was a knee injury. But yeah, they have no idea who they want at the opposite side of the corner. So yeah, that cornerback core, it's going to get attacked a lot, especially in the NFC East. You got Prescott, Wentz, and Manning. You're going against Odell, someone from the Cowboys, and Alshon Jeffrey. So, good luck. Good luck, Washington, defending that. Their safeties aren't really much better. I mean, Swearinger's is an all right safety, but who's your free safety? I'm not sure. It probably escapes my mind. Someone's probably going to remind me in the comments. But yeah, this isn't a very good team. This really isn't. This team's gonna struggle because they don't have a line. And I do think that if they perform poorly, say they do 7-9 or worse, I do think Jay Gruden might get fired after this season. I really do think so. And it's going to be because of a problematic roster being built by an owner who thinks he knows what he's doing but doesn't. And Gruden's going to ultimately pay the price. He's probably going to get fired. And I think he's a good coach. He did well with Kirk Cousins. He really developed him well. But I think he might get fired. I think he will get another job somewhere. I think watch him get signed by the Browns after they fire Hugh Jackson. But I would be shocked if he lasts another season with the team. And of course, looking at their schedule, they might have a bit of levity. They have an early bye week at week 4, and of course, right after the bye week, they play the Saints. And after the bye week, things get really difficult. Like, okay, how about just after week 2, things get really difficult because they play the Cardinals and the Colts first, so it can really go either or. But then you have to play the Packers, then bye week, Saints, Panthers, Cowboys, Giants, Falcons, and of course, Bucks about even or. Texans, same thing. Depends how Deshaun Watson has. Deshaun Watson is healthy and plays to how he used to play back, between weeks 2 and 7. They're in trouble. But continuing, they play the Cowboys game, then the Eagles and the Giants, then the Jaguars, then the Titans and the Eagles again. Oh boy, they're going to struggle. They're going to stink. They're going to be somewhere in the top 10 because I think they're going to go 4-12 this season. This team is going to struggle badly. Because the roster's not that good. They don't have a competent. They have a competent quarterback, but they don't have a quarterback that could carry the team. I don't think Alex Smith can carry the team. And the defense is not very good. I mean, the defense has some weaknesses, especially in the secondary. I think they're going to throw on them a lot. I mean, of course you got a good pass rush, but I don't think that the secondary could cover for more than 3 seconds. And honestly, 3 seconds, unless going in unblocked, is not enough time for your edge rushers like Kerrigan, Ryan Anderson, Pernell McPhee, Jonathan Allen, and Deron Payne to really put in some effort. And then, of course, you got the offense. I think they're going to sack the box a lot, really make Alex Smith beat you because they really don't trust this guy to beat them. They might have a couple surprise wins every now and then. I think a surprise win might be go against like the Saints, because they always seem to give them the most trouble. And of course, I might say Falcons. They might get a surprise win over the Falcons. Maybe one over the Cowboys. Maybe one over the Eagles. Maybe one over the Giants. But they're going to struggle a ton against against many of the opponents. And I think they will go 4-12, finish 4th place, finish somewhere in the top 10, maybe 5th overall in the draft. And they'll unfortunately probably will fire Jay Gruden after this season.